What is that you got? What's what, man? Yeah, that. What you got on? Very, very, very nice suit. That's a very, very, very nice suit. That's a clown suit. That's a costume, man. With a big sign on it that says arrest. You understand? You're too loud.
The super producer.
The loudest one in the room is the weakest one in the room. I told you that.
Let's get it, I got it, I'm ready, my lord. Whole click solid, everybody on board. Say they won't smoke, that's the shit they can't afford. These niggas weak, no cap, I go home. And I know these niggas mad, I ain't tripping, I'm good. One call, then fall on you, don't make me do it. Me and my niggas taking your city on guard. Look, I got something for all you haters. Dumb thinking and sweet, get all the flavors. You niggas suckers like you candy coated. Grab the 40, let it blam, reload it. Couple sticks on me, thinking dynamite from that damn explosion. Look, homie, all I'm saying, you better chill. You think you got the game, you ain't even in the field. You said you ready to die, you ain't even gonna write a will. I gotta leave you to make bail before the appeal. I'm war ready, heavy artillery like a Mando. Who boots brave camo, feeling fresh out the bando. I'm one wet, got a vest, lot of ammo. Big blade, face paint like I'm Rambo. Shit, I make rappers go rip they book up. I walk up on you real calm with my hood up. Send your ass under with a ladder, it ain't good luck. Let's get it, I got it, I'm ready, my lord. Whole click solid, everybody on board. Say they won't smoke, that's the shit they can't afford. These niggas weak, no cap, I go home. And I know these niggas mad, I ain't tripping, I'm good. One call, then fall on you, don't make me do it. Me and my niggas taking your city on guard. 140 for the rebel, nigga. Yeah. Wait a minute, let me check my watch, time to go to work. Bitch, I'm right back, keep my bag, about to go berserk. Oh, that nigga left, he a hoe, tell him go to church. Say that they got next, okay, guess I gotta get it first. The truth hurt, I'm on fire, let it burn a bit. Fuck a hoe, cut that bitch off like a tourniquet. Cut him up, nip tuck, then I put him on the bed. Everything I drop heavy, little nigga, watch your head. Yeah, he ain't one west, he a fed. I claim on 25th, UPK thoroughbred. Oh, he mad, well, I ain't worried about a damn thing. Nigga, I'm strapped, I put it like a hamstring. Just touched down, finna fly down, case it dry. Touch kick times, gonna be very hard to stay alive. Bitch, we outside, so you know you can't stand there. Said if I gon' die for this shit, I told him hell yeah. Let's get it, I got it, I'm ready, my lord. Whole click solid, everybody on board. Say they won't smoke, that's the shit they can't afford. These niggas weak, no cap, I go home. And I know these niggas mad, I ain't tripping, I'm good. One call, then fall on you, don't make me do it. Me and my niggas taking your city on guard.
You know, if you wasn't my brother, I'd kill you. You know that, don't you? I'd blow your motherfucking brains out, man. Don't be like.
All right. Clap it up. All right, it's the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General YAHANNA. It is Monday, the history class, where we break it down line upon line, precept upon precept, here a little, there a little, using external references and sources to back up internally what is in the Bible. We have been on this Genesis crusade, breaking it down. You understand? We didn't win all the way from creation. You understand? Now, from creation with Adam and this conflict with Adam and Eve, from Adam and Eve, you understand, to where Cain got kicked out, from Cain getting kicked out to Noah, you understand, and dealing with the sons of God going into the children of men, you understand, and then the earth destroying, the Lord destroying the earth, and then from there, the descendants is the only left for the three sons of Adam, Seth, to the royal line of Seth, dealing with Abraham. Now we at Isaac, all right? We are dealing with the story of Isaac, and we broke down very meticulously who is Esau and who is Jacob. We brought out, historical records, dealing with the Nazis, dealing with the Greco-Roman Empire, dealing with Jewish records, bringing out stuff from the Mask of Edom. Edom is the kingdom of Esau, showing who they were, right? And then by knowing who they are, you know who they are not, right? So by knowing who they are not, you know that the so-called Jewish man today is not a real Jew. He is not a descendant or tied back, you understand, to the 12 tribes of Israel whatsoever. He is an imposter, you understand, as Adolf Hitler said that they were. They were bastards, right? They were acculturalist bastards because from their lineage, they gave up the heritage of their forefathers. Which you say, as you want to say, Sapar? Oh, I thought you had your hand up. My bad, Salaki. So here we are. We just got through dealing with Isaac, the Lord basically telling him it's a famine in the land right now. I'm set the stage for you, right? So this is, previously on Dragon Ball Z. You know what I'm saying? So let me set the prequel for you, all right? So previously, all right, so there's a great famine that's going through the land, all right? Isaac had the mindset to go to Egypt because that's where his father went when the famine came in his time during the time of Abraham, right? When he had this thought, this inclination, the Lord came to him, right, in a dream, right? Because we pulled that out, right? The Lord came to him in a dream, in a vision, and he told him, do not go down to the land of Egypt to dwell in the land in which should I tell you, and I will be with you, right? So he dwelled in the land, you understand? And when he was in the land, he's in the land of the Philistines, you understand? Dealing with Abimelech, he told everybody, this is my wife is my sister, It's a technicality. Technically, he wasn't lying, you understand? But he did it just like how his father did it, because even though the Lord told him that he would bless him, you understand? I mean, it's like you heard the dreams, like, yeah, I know what the dream said, but I mean, it was a dream. You know what I'm saying? So he still had the fear of a man because the Lord hadn't brought him through just like he brought Abraham through to establish his faith. Okay, so Abimelech, all right, this is not the same Abimelech that Abraham dealt with because, I mean, of course, this is a 75-year gap. So this is probably a son or a son's son, maybe a grandson, right? But just like during the age of the Ptolemaic Empire, right, all the kings of Egypt were named Ptolemy. So you got Ptolemy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so on and so forth, right? Same thing with Abimelech, right? So or King Louis the first, second, so on and so forth, right? So just like in our family, right, we have a oral tradition. We have oral records, right? They had the same records, you know what I'm saying? It's called the Chronicles of the King, right? Or the King's records, right? And if something great happened in any land, just like when we went through when we did the feast dealing with Esther, right? These things are recorded in the Chronicles, right? Any great deed, act, war, you understand, or loss is categorized in the Chronicles of any king in any kingdom, right? So if any king has a conflict that he doesn't know how to deal with, he can go to the Chronicles of the kings that came before him to see how they dealt with it so he can have the wisdom and strategize how to deal with it. So the exact same situation with Isaac and Abimelech happened with Abraham and the Abimelech before him, right? So Isaac was like, this is my sister. Abimelech was like, man, I heard a story or I read, a story, you know what I'm saying, or something that happened previously in the kingdom, but we lost some serious bread, you feel me, because we didn't do our due diligence. So instead of him sending somebody to take his wife, you understand, he watched him from the balcony. And then, it said that Isaac was sporting with his wife. You know what I'm saying? We look at the definition of sport. You understand? He was flirtfully playing with his wife. You understand? And it was brought out, this is your wife. You understand? Like, what have you done that we one of our men could have lined with her? You feel me? And he ended up literally saying the exact same thing that the Abimelech who was his predecessor said to Abraham. You understand? So now, instead of, because the Lord told the previous Abimelech in a dream, nigga, you's a dead man, because the woman that is in your bed does not belong to you. She belongs to another. You understand? So he put out an edict. If any man touch this woman, you will be put to death. You understand? And that's where we are in the story. We're gonna pick up at verse 13 because the point that we're moving into is verse 17. So we're gonna start there, Genesis 26 and 13. If you have any questions, go ahead and drop them in the comment section. We got people observing the chat. Oh, and if you on Clubhouse, go ahead and share the room. If you're on Facebook, go ahead and like, you understand, and follow. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. You understand? All right, so let's go ahead and get into it without further ado. We're gonna start at Genesis 26 and 13. When you got to go ahead and read, brother.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 26, verse 13.
Uh-huh.
And the man waxed great and went forward and grew until he became very great.
Till he what?
Became very great.
Okay, so first thing that you got to understand, right? Isaac already came from royalty, right? So for him to wax very great, that means that he was greater than his father, Abraham, right? So we are already using the analogy last class, right? We already know that off GP, Abraham was so wealthy, he sent Eliezer off. When he sent Eliezer to get a wife for Isaac, he sent him with what we guesstimate, because we looked up the price of a camel, right? It varies if the camel got one hump or two hump. So he sent him off with approximately $500,000 to $1 million worth of livestock, not including the silver, the gold, and the jewels that he sent with him to pay the dowry. Because we know just off the cuff, he gave Rebecca $6,500 worth of gold, just in bracelets, you understand? And in those, we did the math based off a shekel of silver. You understand? So he came from wealth. You understand? Like, people like to have this mindset, even when they portrayed in the movies, that the people in the Bible were poor. No, they were not. We came from wealth, right? That's why when the Babylonians, the Persians and the Medes, the Greco-Roman Empire, that's why they sacked Jerusalem over and over and over again, right? The same reason why the Arabs, the East Indians, the Chinese, the Japanese, the Vietnamese, the East Indians, is the same reason why they set up their businesses in your neighborhood, because there is wealth in the Black, Hispanic, and Native American community. I mean, they brought it out on CNN that we have $1 trillion worth of buying power a year. I mean, how can we be poor, you understand, and of lack, if we have within, and we're supposed to be the quote unquote minority, and we have $1 trillion worth of buying power? Go ahead, Sapar. Give him the mic.
And so like I said, that's so heavy, like how you were explaining how our communities have money just like how our forefathers have. That's why it's best to just read the Bible and use your imagination than to look at the movies to have your mind in confusion.
Right. But that's the whole purpose of movies. It's smoke and mirrors, right? Because every time you think about Moses, you think about James Heston. You understand? White man on the mountain, you know what I'm saying, with a white beard and two tablets with this I don't know what you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? It looked like a poncho he had on. You feel me? You understand? You feel me? But Moses he wasn't broke. You understand? Moses came up in Pharaoh's house, he fled, and then he was in the land of Jethro, right? Jethro wasn't poor. You understand? Jethro had bread. You understand? So ain't in no situation, even when we were in servitude, we were still a nation, right? So nobody, like prime example, nobody conquers a nation just to conquer it. People conquer nations for their resources, right? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we are the most resourceful people on the face of this earth. We are the people that make something out of nothing. You understand? Like, ain't nobody on the earth thought to make a delicacy out of some oxtails, man. You understand? Oxtails is almost $12 a pound. Right? You understand? You go to the Benjamite, the Jamaican spot, a plate of oxtails is $42. You understand? When it was considered scraps, they would give that away. You understand? But what you put your spirit on, the world covets it. You understand? Like I mean, I didn't even know Asian people could grow dreadlocks. You know what I'm saying? Like they put a whole, they call it, it's called the fro process. They take like individual strands of hair and they coil it tight because they're imitating, because we have naturally coily hair. You understand? And they coil it around these individual coils, these rods, put the hair on the dryer so they can imitate having an afro, having Nazi hair, because we are royalty. That's your crown. You feel me? Like your afro, your natural glory, that's your halo. You understand? Everybody wants to imitate you, but you want to be like everybody else. You want to buy and put everybody else's hair in your hair. You understand? You want to dye your hair to look like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Putting that bleach in your hair, weakening your hair. You understand? Where it's falling out. You feel me? Like everybody wants to be a nigga, but don't nobody want to be a nigga. Even niggas, Spicks and Savages, don't want to be niggas, Spicks and Savages. But you are royalty, and the world knows it. You understand? Keep reading.
Verse 14. For he had possession of flocks and possession of herds and great store of servants.
And a great what?
Store of servants.
So that means it was greater than what his father had, right? In the previous class, you can go back, you can listen to it. We pulled out that the previous Abimelech, right, and his captains, when they rode up on Abraham, they said, we know that thou art a great prince in the land, right? I don't know about you, but a prince ain't nobody poor. It's not nobody lacking in means, right? So if his father was a great prince in the land and Isaac added even more flocks, even more herds, and even more maid and manservants, that means that he was a power to reckon with. Because you got to remember, when they kidnapped Abraham's nephew Lot, he went and got the choice men out of his household. You understand? And they went and they cut down every single one of them that kidnapped his nephew. You understand? So you can't like, and then when he took the choice men, he still had servants to run the house. You feel me? Keep reading.
And the Philistines envied him.
And the what?
Philistines envied him.
Now, this is where we left off last class, right? You understand? You can do it. Matter of fact, go ahead and pull that precept for me. Sapar, I want you to pull where was it? Let's see. 15. What was that? Verse 15 that you just read? All right. All right, no sweat. Okay, so I want you to give me Sapar, give me Deuteronomy 28:1, just so we can get some understanding on this. All right. And Yakubad, I want you to give me Psalms. Matter of fact, just read, don't worry about it. Just read Psalms, Sapar, read Psalms 56:1, and then we'll jump back in since I went in depth in Deuteronomy last class. All right, so we're gonna go to Psalms 56:1, and we're gonna read the verse 7. Right, this is why the Philistines envied. Come grab the other mic right here. This is why the Philistines envied Isaac, right? And this is what you got to understand. You can be right. You can do the right thing your entire. You can work hard. You understand? Get it out the mud. You know, every inch you fought for, and you did it the right way. You understand? Somebody's still gonna envy you. You understand? It don't matter, and this is why. Go ahead and read, Sapar.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 56 and verse 1.
Uh-huh.
Be merciful unto me.
Do what?
Be merciful unto me,
Mm-hmm.
O God,
Mm-hmm.
for man will swallow me up.
For what?
For man will swallow me up.
It don't look. If you rolling down the street, like we in Houston, you know what I'm saying? This, you know, this slab capital, right? So if you rolling down, I don't care if you rolling down Emancipation, you rolling down Alameda, Westheimer Strip, Washington Boulevard, you feel me? MLK, Scott, you understand? You roll down the strip and you got a candied out slab sitting on elbows and Vogues, you understand? Now, there's some people that's gonna be like, hey, that slab is a spaceship, that whole clean. But also within them people, you got people plotting on you, seeing how you moving, where you, if you gonna park your slab, where you gonna park it, you understand? Or watch where you pull off and where you go to follow you, to try and instill what you didn't put your hard work and money in. Because I'm telling you right now, to build a slab with a fifth wheel in motion, it's not an easy process, nor is it a short process. You understand? Like, you got cats that buy old school, put 40 to 50 grand into the car. You feel me? So that's not a light thing. You feel me? There are constantly people around you looking to see how they can swallow you up. Right? Read.
He fighting daily, oppressive me.
You do what?
He fighting daily, oppressive me.
Now imagine you fighting daily, right? Daily. You going to work in your oppression, and every day you come home from work, you go in that garage, you understand? You drop a new transmission in. You understand? You put some new head gaskets in. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Now you done all the overhaul work on the front end. Now you start upholstering the leather. You know what I'm saying? This is every day you come home. You understand? Then you take out the old original sound system. You put your tweeters in. You put your 6x9s. You know what I'm saying? You get you some 15s. You understand? Then you case it in fiberglass and put your neon lights in. And then you get your fifth wheel, you cut it just right so it sit on that back wheel. So when you pop that trunk with the hydraulic, that thing waving. You know what I'm saying? And when that trunk wave, you got a neon sign that say, "Hey to hurdle." You know what I'm saying? This is months and years of work that you didn't put into this slab so you can roll down MLK and Scott, you know what I'm saying, in the slab parade on Sunday. You feel me? For somebody to stalk you. You understand? After you didn't put hard work in and you didn't built it up the right way. This is what Isaac is going through with the Philistines. You feel me? And it's what Abraham went through, dealing with the first Abimelech. Go ahead, keep reading.
Verse 2, my enemies would daily swallow me up.
He said what?
My enemies would daily swallow me up.
You understand? It said his enemies would daily swallow him up. So in some way, shape, form, or fashion, you had a rat somewhere at your cheese. You understand? Whether it's the government trying to do extra taxes, you know what I'm saying, or you got an accountant trying to steal money from you. You feel me? Instead of you taking the time to find a righteous woman, you lay down with a wicked woman, and she going through your wallet when you go to sleep, trying to take the extra bread out your wallet. You feel me? Asking for all your passcodes so she can drain your bank account on her own. You feel me? Or you dealing with a wicked Negro that's doing the same thing. You feel me? This is what happens when you tie yourself to people that are not in your heritage, that are not in your culture. Right? Keep reading.
For they be many.
For they do what?
For they be many.
They be a little bit.
For they be many.
All them people that you think are your partners are not your partners. You understand? All them people in the world that you think are your associates are not your associates. The scripture says, you understand, of 1,000 men righteous, I found what? One. And it says of women, I found none. Of 1,000 men, that's why the scripture says to find you one counselor. And if it says, if a man findeth a friend, right, he findeth himself a strong defense, right? Because to find somebody that's truly for you, like you're for yourself, it's a rarity because everybody has an agenda. Everybody has an angle. There are very few people that are genuine in this world, right? Because everybody looks out for self. Keep reading.
Come. For they be many that fight against me, O thou most high.
Keep
Verse
reading.
3. What time I am afraid, I will trust in thee.
So this is a situation. This situation that Isaac was in. He was afraid, right? That's why he told his wife, when we moving about, you understand, in this Philistine land, say I'm your brother, because I fear that we're not in a country that fears God. You understand? But even in his fear, he trusted the Lord, and the Lord made him whole because he grew even more so in stature than his father. Keep reading.
Verse 4. In God I will praise his word. In God I have put my trust.
You understand? Because the Lord told Isaac, he said, if you will dwell where I will tell you, I will be with you. You understand? You have to dwell within the word of the Lord. The Lord is not a man that he should lie, but don't be foolish to think that you're not going to go through something to ascertain something, right? Your faith has to be proven, right? It's not about what you say, it's about what you do. Faith without what is dead? Works. So we have to see how you work and how you move in faith when things are lackluster, when your back is against the wall. Isaac thought his back was against the wall, so that's why he didn't walk around saying, yeah, that's my baby right here. How many of us today on social media hide the fact that you in a relationship because you're afraid somebody gonna take your man or take your woman, right? Because you operate in fear. I mean, I ain't gonna shit. I did it. You know what I'm saying? I used to do it. I ain't want nobody in my business. You feel me? But you have to operate in faith. You know what I'm saying? What the Lord bring together, let no man do what? Put asunder. Keep reading.
I will not fear what flesh can do unto me.
Keep what I just say. You know what I'm saying? Let no man put asunder. Keep reading.
Verse 5. Every day they wrest my words. All their thoughts are against me for evil.
Every post that you didn't post, I didn't register for nursing school. You know what I'm saying? You get a couple of likes. You know what I'm saying? Each semester, you're posting your grades on your final. You get a couple of likes. You understand? But when you post it, you see a couple of likes when you make the post. But when you go on your feed, you understand? You got a whole bunch of views of people watching. You might get like 5 likes, but on your feed, on your views, you got 65 to 200 eyes watching what you're doing. Now, help me understand. Now, getting all A's is an amazing thing. I got 200 people seeing that I'm getting straight A's in nursing school, but I only got 10 likes on the post. And then here come graduation day, right? You know, you're showing your nursing degree. You know, I start my new job on Monday. You know, new nurse, who this? You feel me? You know what I'm saying? And then you make your post. You might get 97 likes, right? But on your feed, you got 300 views. What that mean? You got more ops, right? Then you got people that's for you. You got more ops than allies. You understand? Because in every single one of them views, it should be a heart, a like, you know what I'm saying? Or some type of word of encouragement, keep up the good work. Because me doing good gives an opportunity for you. Because who knows? I might be, what's the I think it's the resident nurse, or RN. That's the head nurse, right? I might be in a position if you a technician to get you a job. You know what I'm saying? the more of us are in good position, the better position we are in as a whole. But instead, most people hate on one another. You understand? But all they see is the hard work you put in. That's what I want to let you know. It don't matter what you do. You feel me? Whether you righteous or wicked, somebody gonna hate on you. So don't think just because you doing the right thing, everything gonna be all good, because a jacker will still pull up on you and take what you done worked hard for. Keep reading.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 56 and verse 6. They gather themselves together. They hide themselves. Hold
on, wait. Read that again, brother. Read that again.
Verse 6. They gather themselves together.
So the gathering platform is Facebook. The gathering platform is Instagram. The gathering platform is TikTok. You understand? They gather themselves together and do what?
So they gather themselves together. They hide themselves.
They create fake profiles so you don't know it's them. You understand? You feel me? I've seen people, like I saw an amazing post on TikTok. The sister was so wise, right? So it was a post on TikTok where she put the, you know how people be putting the comment up that they be responding to in the video. It was a comment from a fake page, and she was like, you know, it would be nice, you know what I'm saying, if the next time you create a fake page that you don't use the number that's in my contacts. Because you know when somebody respond and their number's in your contacts, it tells you who the person is. You feel me? But they try and hide themselves, right, by creating fake pages. You feel me? Because they can't help themselves. Everybody can work hard. Everybody can do what the Lord requires. Everybody can keep the law, statutes, and commandments. But who you think you are? You are holier than thou. You know what I'm saying? You think you all good because you don't eat pork. You know what I'm saying? You don't eat shrimp. Oh, because, I mean, we've been doing crawfish broils our entire family life. You know what I'm saying? You too good to hang with the family or to come to the crawfish broil. This is how people perceive you. People will make a judgment against you without even talking to you to get understanding of why you're doing what you're doing. Because like Captain Yazizak told me one time when the next time you talk to your mama, say this. My mom's a preacher, right? And I mean, and I was raised up in the word. When I tell you, like, my mama, like when I was a kid, from elementary school to high school, I had to read in the morning before I went to school. I had to read 3 chapters in the Bible and do my daily devotion and write like a little report on my daily devotion, and she would check it. It let me not do it, brother. You understand? Like, my mama know that Bible backwards and forward. You feel me? So when I came into the truth, it was a constant between me and my mom, you know, and Cat was like, you know what? Since your mom is such a student of Bible, next time you talk to your mom, be like, Mama, what's the problem? We just talking about the Bible, right? The Bible's okay. So you believe that Christ came to save the entire world. I believe that he came to die for Israel, but let's just humor you. If you're right, I'm saved. Once saved, always saved, right? Ain't that what Christians believe? Right? Okay. If by what you saying that we can eat all diverse meats, right? That means I'm still good because I'm not eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. I'm just eating what's righteous according to the Bible. So what's the problem? Right? So people will pick and choose when you choose to walk down the right path, because what that means is light can't dwell with darkness, right? And if you are standing next to someone that is in the darkness and you're light, that's like you have an all white linen and you fresh. You know what I'm saying? That light beaming off that fresh white linen, baby. And they had white linen on, but it's looking all dingy and yellow. You know what I'm saying? You've been washing with Tide, they've been washing in the swamp. You feel me? You didn't have that OxyClean on you. You feel me? And what that does is that shows a reflection to them of who you are and who they're not. everybody can't deal with self-accountability and reflection. So when you work hard for what you got, just know it's going to be opposition either way. Keep reading.
They mark my steps when they wait for my soul.
They do what?
They mark my steps when they wait for my soul.
Brother, every single one of them persons that's been watching you on your journey, when you registered for nursing school, they was like, oh, she ain't gonna make it. Oh, he ain't gonna make it. They gonna feel out. You know what I'm saying? When your first semester, you doing your finals, you got all A's. Oh, that's just one semester. You know what I'm saying? Let's see how they do next semester. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you graduate and you become you get your nurse's license to practice and all that stuff. Okay, let's see how she do out here in the world. She ain't gonna be no RN though. But you become a RN, it'd be like, oh, I mean, but she ain't gonna be running no ward under no number one doctor or practitioner. Every single step of the way, they got something to say. They are hunting your steps. I mean, hell, as much mind and focus as they put into what you're doing, they should go work for the doggone CIA or NSA, FBI. You know what I'm saying? They would be great investigative analysts. You understand? Because they are haunting your steps, but they're not conscientious of their own. Keep reading.
Verse 7. They shall escape by inquiry.
They shall do what?
They shall escape by inquiry.
You know what that means? What that means? You know, when they'll slip up and like hit a like on accident, you know what I'm saying, or some type of emoji to let you know that they're looking, and then you respond like, "Oh, what's going on? Oh man, I was just checking on you." You know what I'm saying? Seeing how you doing. You know, you're looking good out there. You feel me? They escape through inquiry. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna let you know that they're your opposition. They're gonna come as a friend. Oh man, I'm just checking on you. You know what I'm saying? How school going? How school doing? Or it might be somebody in your department. Man, so what aspirations do you have here at your, whatever? Like prime example. Let's say what aspirations do you have at Texas Children? You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, I desire to be RN one day. And then they go behind your back to the RN. Girl, she trying to take your job. You understand what I'm saying? This is what people do. Go ahead, Sapar.
And so like I say, and I realize, you know, from my job in the years that I've been there, you know, I just decide for the majority of people, if they not one of my brothers and sisters in the school, most of the time I say good morning and goodbye.
You understand? Yes, we say good and good night, brother. Good night. Shalom. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you the shalom in Hebrew or the shalom in English. You feel me? You feel me? Keep reading. Keep reading.
Verse 7. Shall they escape by inquiry? In thy anger, cast down, O people, O God.
You understand? So anyone that deals falsely with you, the Lord is going to cast them down in his anger. You understand? So if the Lord is for you, who can be against you? All right. So let's go back to where we were. All right. So we at verse 16, Genesis 26 and 16. This
is the book of Genesis, chapter 26 and verse 16. And Abimelech said unto Isaac, go from us.
Be among us.
Go from us.
Post up with your boy one time.
Go from us. For thou art much mightier than we.
You are weaker than we.
For thou art much mightier than we.
You are equal.
For thou art much mightier than we.
Like your partners, like if you pull up on the block, right? Let's say, you know, you used to do your thing back in the day, you know, you didn't change your life, but you know, you pull up on the block where you came from, just go check up on your partners, be like, bro, what you doing around here? You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you know, like, hey, bro, I mean, it's good to see you, bro. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, you shouldn't be around here. You feel me? Matter of fact, I mean, shoot, you big time. Ain't that what we say? You big time now. You know what I'm saying? You ain't worried about the little people. You feel me? That's another way of saying that. You feel me? Get from around here. Because you mightier than us. I know we started together, but I mean, bro, you didn't excel, bro. You know what I'm saying? What you doing back around here, bro? You know what I'm saying? I know you coming to visit your mama, bro, but shoot, I mean, it's good seeing you, dog. I holler at you. Go ahead.
So like, and that's so heavy. You said that, sir, because most of them be like, man, you don't need to be around here. You got one of them good ass jobs.
You feel
man.
me? You feel me? But who knows? Maybe you being around me, you can get you one of these good old jobs. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. And that's the dichotomy of what I'm trying to show you. Like, you can work hard your whole life. Do it the right way. Don't cut no corners. You understand? And people will fear you because you've changed. You're not the same person they hung out with. You're not the same person you used to get high with. You know what I'm saying? You're not the same person they used to rob and hit licks with. You know what I'm saying? You're not the same person that they used to run through females with. You a family man now. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? So what you have to always realize and keep in the back of your mind are motive and intention, right? If I've never come to you, right, in an aggressive manner, why are you afraid of me? That means that your motives when you're not around me aren't righteous. You feel me? That means you probably been talking about me behind my back. Clearly, you've been watching me. Abimelech been watching Abraham because he been trying to get Rebecca for a minute. Because it said that he was looking down from the balcony. And you know, Abimelech the king, so you know his balcony real, real high. The boy been having them binoculars on, eyeing her movements. You feel me? That's the same thing that people doing on social media, right? The same thing people doing on your job. Or why she get a promotion and I didn't? Why she got a raise or he got a raise and I didn't? Why he or she got a bonus and I didn't? But they not looking at the numbers that you didn't put in. You feel me? They not looking at the metrics that you didn't hit and that you didn't exceeded, and the metrics that they didn't hit and they didn't exceed. You feel me? Or instead of them hating on you, hey, Salakia, sis, or excuse me, sis, or hey, excuse me, brother, like, you know, man, I've been trying to get this bonus, you know what I'm saying, like every year, and I keep falling short. Can you show me what you do, you know, so I can start getting my bonuses and hitting my marks and my raises like you doing? Because evidently it's something that you doing that I'm not. You think you come to somebody and say that, they're gonna be like, man, hell no, get away from me. No, they're not gonna say that because you humbled yourself, and 9 times out of 10, if y'all work in the same department, you just gonna make the load easier and you gonna make the work lighter. So we all gonna shine. But we don't think like that. We have an individual mindset. You feel me? When the first commandment, the greatest commandment, is to fear the Lord thy heart with all thy mind, with all thy soul. The second is likened unto it, to love thy brother as thyself. You understand? If I thought that I want you to get your raise, bonuses, and promotions like I get my raise, bonuses, and promotions, I'm gonna make sure that you're good. If I finish up my work early, you know what I'm saying? Instead of me just clocking out and going home, hey bro, you finish? How many more reps you got? All right, cool. You just knock out this half. I'm gonna go down here. I'm gonna knock out the rest of them for you so we can all get out of here on time. That way, y'all all meeting y'all metrics. Because you didn't get to where you are by yourself. Somebody had to show you. Somebody had to give you a helping hand. Somebody had to teach you and show you the way. Why wouldn't you do that for someone else? But if everyone had that mindset, we'd be in the kingdom of heaven right now. You understand? Keep reading.
So then we'll come, verse 17. And Isaac departed thence and pitched his tent in the valley of Gerar, and dwelt there. Verse 18. And Isaac digged again the wells of water, which they had digged in the days of Abraham, his father. For the Philistines had stopped them after the death of Abraham.
All right, now, Yahakabad, I want you to look up how many feet do you have to dig to make a well? Somebody look that up. Look that up for me. How many feet do you have to dig to make a well? Now, and I want you to know the same amount of feet that you have to dig today is the same amount of feet that you got to dig back then. Just Google, just base amount. How many feet does it take to dig a well? And give me the roundabout guesstimate number that it gives you. What you got? First man to get it, go ahead and give it to me. What you got? Brother, say it on the mic.
Most Slovakia. This is
whatever.
Okay. Most household water wells range from 100 to 800 feet deep.
But it range from what?
100 to 800 feet deep.
Okay, brother. Let me get my calculator out so I can put that in perspective for y'all, right? So we'll do a medium. See, it said 100 between 100 and 800. I'll do 400 feet, right? All right. Let's divide that by 12 because a ceiling height is 10 feet and you got 2 feet of interstitial space between the floor and the next floor. So that's 12 feet. Okay. All right. That's 33 stories. 100 feet is a 33-story building. That's a high rise. That's a high rise condominium or apartment building. You understand? To put that in perspective, right? Now, what you had to say, support?
Slag, sir, from you bringing that out, I would have a science the typical question. They say that the Earth crust is the thinnest layer. So is it really that thin? If it can go 800 feet deep?
They ain't been to the bottom of the ocean, but they can tell you how thick the Earth's crust is. I mean, who you think telling the truth? Or who lying?
Right. Because we growing up, we used to see like the the little posters with the crust in the middle.
All of this is guesstimation. Right. How can they tell you how thick the Earth's crust is, and they haven't been to the bottom of the ocean? I mean, here they got all this. I don't even want to talk about the dang on submarine, right? You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's a distraction to distract from something else they doing a sleight of hand. They passing some law, some executive order. You understand? They cloud seeding. You know what I'm saying? Or doing something to the food. I mean, my wife just sent me an article the other day. They just approved in California and DC to sell lab-grown meat. Yeah. Oh yeah. Y'all, hey. As my homeboy on TikTok, one of my favorites, he's like, hey, some people about to croak. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? What you got? What you got, brother?
Slacking, man, sir. I just seen a TikTok. The guy was talking about that they use the cells that multiply the fastest, and what are the cells that multiply the fastest?
Right.
Cancer cells.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. Like, instead of them feeding you the swine that got cancer sores in it that they bleach out, he's like, you know what? Let's just give them the sores. Meat grown from the sores. And I'm not saying that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? But if it's grown in the lab, I guarantee you it's not the best for you. There's no nutritional value. You understand? Go ahead. What you got, support?
So what exactly, like, I mean, because this is a real disturbing story. So what kind of meat is it? Like beef or pork?
It's lab grown chicken. It's lab grown beef, lab grown pork. I even watched them make a petri dish squid. You know what I'm saying? For some calamari. You feel me? It looked like a gummy worm. You know, that's what it looked like when he pulled it out the petri dish. It looked like a squid, but the texture look of it on the screen, it looked like a gummy worm. You understand? But when they pulled it apart, you feel me? It had fibers and textures and all of this stuff. You feel me? So just riddle me this. Just riddle me this. If they're able to make lab-grown meat for you to eat, right? Just use your imagination. Don't you think that they're able to grow lab-grown humans? You understand? You feel me? That's probably walking around. Go ahead, brother.
Salaka, sir. I mean, that was just so. I mean, that caught me off guard. I'm like, dude, this white man.
So look, this
no, no bounds.
people get upset at me when I say this, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I know we done been homegrown in society where everything is convenient, you know, quick and easy. But when the last time you actually read the labels on the back of your food? You know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna put a whole new perspective on that Beyond Meat. You know what I'm saying? That you be buying in the store. Who knows? You might be eating cells from an aborted fetus. You understand? Because they just say all it says is rapidly grown cells. They didn't tell you where they got the cells from. They could be grooming you to become a cannibal. And then one day, some pandemic gonna hit. Next thing you know, we got the Walking Dead zombies. And boys gonna be out here looking like they were smoking bath salts. Y'all remember that epidemic when people was just eating bath salts and turning into zombies and biting and eating people? Now, they just gonna have you biting and eating people and you don't know that you're eating people. Or have everybody eating pork and you don't know that you're eating pork. It's just gonna say genetically grown lab meat. You don't know what lab it came from, what cells that they're using to grow this experimental meat. You know what I'm saying? But it's all for the betterment of the earth, but the earth gives you everything that you need to survive. Hey man, I'm not gonna say which man, but the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. You understand?
It's like his imagination knows no bounds.
You feel me? He said that I'm going to raise myself above the stars of the Most High, the throne seat of the Most High God. This is what he's doing. He's like, okay, the Lord created all the beasts of the field. I'm gonna create all my beasts in a petri dish. You understand? Over in it's either China or Japan right now, they're making genetically spliced dragons. Right now, you think I'm BSing? You know what I'm saying? You can Google it, TikTok it. I'll tell you this: the best place for you to find information, like go on Reddit. Go on Reddit. You know what I'm saying? Reddit is the safest place and the closest thing you're gonna get to the dark web without actually having to go on the dark web. You understand? They're making genetically, and I know y'all now seen a TikTok video. The dude that made a Easter bunny from he mixing animals. He mixed a parrot and a pigeon. You understand? And I'm not a ferret and a pigeon, so he can have colorful feathers like a parrot. You feel me? He mixed a chicken and a bunny because he wanted to create the first Easter bunny, a bunny that laid eggs. He's on TikTok. Like these are animals that he's created and released into the wild. You know what I'm saying? He crossbreeded a parakeet and an owl so it can be a colorful owl. I'm there, and he's on one video. He said he made 300 of them. He kept 5 and released the rest into the wild. You understand? And over there in Asia, they making gene splice. They're making their own dragons. And they said it was a situation that happened over there where some of them homemade dragons got loose, and they got their own little venoms and all this stuff, and they was just killing people. So imagine they break out the lab and they just get bigger and bigger. What's going to happen? You understand? They are literally creating Jurassic Park and all these horror movies. You understand that you didn't watch because they bored. You understand? They just can't be in the paradise that the Lord created. They think that they're better than the Most High. The Lord has created everything for a purpose. They're creating things that have no purpose so they can have pets. But you know what? Pets get hungry. And let's just say one day you run out of the food that the pet likes and he looks at you. You look like food. And then now he got a taste for you. Oh, humans are, they're not the masters, they're food. We're greater than them. Extinction level event. Let's get back to it. Read.
Kanawakan. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 26 and verse 18.
Mm-hmm.
And Isaac digged again the wells of water, which they had digged in the days of Abraham, his father. For the Philistines had stopped them after the death of Abraham.
All right. So we just looked up to dig a well. It's 100 to 800 feet to dig one well to get to clean water. Right. So we know for sure Abraham dug 4 wells. They stopped up 3 in the time of Abraham. So of them 4 wells, he only had 1, right? And then he did 2 others, right? So imagine in that time what it took to dig 100 to 800 feet into the earth. Imagine you doing all of that work and somebody coming behind you and stopping it up and pouring earth in it. You feel me? They told that boy to get off his land, and just in case he didn't want to get off his land, they cut off his water supply. That's declaring war, just in case you didn't know. That is a war tactic. You understand? When you go to war, the first thing that you do is you cut off your enemy's supply lines, which is food and water, and you starve them out. Then you attack them. You attack your enemy when they're weak and feeble, not when their rations are full and they're strong. You cut off their supply line. This was an act of war. You are at war 24/7, 365. And the crazy part is you don't know who your enemies are. You know, you sharing your whole life on social media, and the people that you friends with are really frenemies. People that look just like you. Because, like Christ said, they are of their father, the devil. Now, I'm not going to say what man it is. I'm just going to say the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. And you can use your imagination to know what man that is. You understand? Because we all oppress under the same man of sin that we revealed who he is, Esau, right? So what you have to realize is if they not like-minded in you in the scriptures, 9 times out of 10, they the opposition. They just described as your people because the scripture says my people perish for lack of knowledge. You understand? And if they are not knowledgeable, like Sapar said, Salaki, sir, they not in this truth. When I be at work, it's just good morning and shalom. Good nights. Because until, and the scripture says that you prove a friend, you just don't give nobody a title of this my friend, this my homie, this my BFF, just because they've been around you since childhood. But whenever you going through something, they don't pick up the phone. Whenever you short on your rent or you need help paying the bill, they don't pick up the phone. Oh, I ain't got it. But you call them, they say they ain't got it, but they just, you see them on live turning up over the weekend. You feel me? A true brother or a sister suffers with you. You understand? That's why the scripture says it's better to be in a house of mourning. Because in a house of mourning, you learn something. 2 things to learn: appreciation and what not to do. Or you learn what to do because somebody lived a long life and they're mourned because of what they did while they were here. Keep reading.
Kanawakan. And he called their names after the names by which his father had called them.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 19. And Isaac's servant digged in the valley and found there a well of springing water.
Mm-hmm.
And the herdmen
Hold on. Did he stumble upon a well of water?
and found there a well of springing water.
Hold on, no. Read the first part of 19. Did he stumble upon a well? What'd he do?
And Isaac's servants digged in the valley.
So he's like, you know what? Y'all said y'all ain't want me here. I ain't gonna be nowhere that I ain't wanted. We out. We bounce. He went and dwelled in a valley. You understand? I don't know if you know what a valley looks like. You feel me? But it's not the most desirable land. Most people want to dwell in plains. You know what I'm saying? Most people want to dwell on plateaus. Most people want to dwell adjacent to swamplands because it's fertile land, right? Nobody wants to dwell in a valley. But she said, you know what? I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna chill in the valley. You know what I'm saying? And he digged him a new well. He digged another 100 to 800 feet. His servants. Read what happened.
And I will come and found there a well of springing water.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 20. And the herdmen of Gerar did strive with Isaac's herdmen.
What does it mean to strive?
It's like the fight.
It means the what?
The fight.
So imagine for a week straight or a month straight, y'all been digging in faith. Because you know when you dig, you don't necessarily know that you in a place that you gonna hit where it's water at. Now we have GIS systems, you know what I'm saying, which are geographic information systems. That's what GIS stands for, right? That you can get what's they called? I forgot what the cut sheet is called, but basically you get a plot. That's what it's called. You get a plot on the land that you're acquiring, right? So for anybody that's thinking about buying farmland, you need to get you a GIS study on the land that you're thinking about acquiring, because it'll tell you what type of soil is on that land, what type of trees and wood that you have on that land, what type of water. You have spring water, you know what I'm saying? You got ponds, lakes, underground aquifers. It'll let you know everything that's on that land, right? They didn't have a GIS study. Back then, you would just dig in faith. You would know that there's a body of water that's close by in the valley, so you would just dig, and you just keep digging, hoping that you would hit water, okay? So after they didn't struck digging for a minimum of 100 feet, right? He said 100 to 800, but we're going to say a minimum 100 feet, right? You mean to tell me after I didn't work for a month digging this, these niggas going to come over here and fight me for this hole? Everybody that's on Clubhouse, Facebook, and YouTube is going to be like, nigga, you got me effed up. That's why they was fighting. You know what I'm saying? They was striving with, like, nigga, like, bro, we boxing off top. You know what I'm saying? Just think about, you've been riding the bus for 2 years straight, working at McDonald's, going to school, you know what I'm saying? Stacking up your money so you can get you a whip. You graduate, your graduation gift, you buy yourself a brand new Honda Accord. That Honda Accord is a Benz to you. Matter of fact, no, bump that. You buy yourself a brand new Kia. You understand? And then you come outside at nighttime and you see one of these Kia boys trying to break into your whip to steal your car, then you're going to lose your mind. We boxing. We striving off top. Nigga, I'm not going back to walking, nigga. I'm not going back to riding the bus, sitting at the bus stop in this 100-degree sun and it's 85% humidity. Nigga, you done lost your mind, nigga. It's you and me. Keep reading.
Khan of Gerar did strive with Isaac herdsmen, saying, the water is ours.
The what?
The water is ours.
These niggas ain't dig a lick of dirt. These boys ain't put a shovel to nobody's topsoil. They said the well is ours. Keep reading.
And he called the name of the well I.S.U.K, because they strove with him.
You know what I'm saying? He called the well easy because we was boxing. Nigga, I fought for this. You know what I'm saying? I got this well out the mud. You got me effed up. You understand? Keep reading.
Verse 21. And then they dig another well and strove for that also. And he called the name of it Salakia. They called the name of it
Sitna.
Sitna.
You understand? So I mean that's crazy. Hey, sit now. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Salakia. You know what I'm saying? But you know what this sounds like? Everything that you done worked hard for in your life, nobody giving you a shot or opportunity, and you done had to fight for every inch. You know what I'm saying? To get a car, you had to work 2 years driving the bus to save up to get a car. You know what I'm saying? To get out your mama house and get an apartment to be on your own. You started out in a studio apartment. You know what I'm saying? You went from a studio to a 1-bedroom, from a 1-bedroom to a 2-bedroom. This whole time, you know, you striving at your job to save up money. You know what I'm saying? To do the first time home buyer program. You understand with the FSA. You feel me? Or doing a NACA program. You feel me? And then you get a house. You having to fight every single step of the way. And every step, somebody trying to take food off your plate, and you done worked hard for it. Imagine you working 80 hours a week, huh? You putting in 80 to 90 hours a week. You know what I'm saying? Just so you can come home and have some peace. You don't got no help. You know what I'm saying? You don't got nobody you can depend on. It's all on you for you to hear some jingling at the night, and you hear a glass break. Is somebody gonna steal your car? Nigga, we boxing. You feel me? It ain't there's nothing unlawful about self-defense, because the servants of Isaac, who are under the trust of Abraham, you understand, they war for theirs. You feel me? You know, they ain't a killer, but don't push them. You feel me? Like they not to be played with. Now, we ain't no bullies. It's the same thing with Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We are naturally a peaceable people. We don't bother nobody. We just want to go to work and go home. But play with us if you want to. You know what I'm saying? You gonna find out what F around meat find out. You understand? That's what's gonna end up happening. And in that day, there shall be no light in it. I promise you that, brother. You know, so we gonna play a game that me and my cousin used to play back in the day. It's called You Want to See the Black Man. You know what I'm saying? Just in case you didn't know what that meant, you know, whenever you would say you want to see the black man, somebody say, "Oh, what's the black man? Oh, you want to find out?" You got knocked out. That was the black man. Your eyes get closed. You know what I'm saying? You gonna meet the black man that day. But you can work hard. It's what you have to understand. You're going to have enemies. You probably got enemies right now. Don't even know it. You understand? You every day, you dig in 100 to 800 feet just so you can have clean water to drink in your house. So you don't got to depend on mama, depend on daddy. So you don't have to be on Section 8. So you don't have to be on food stamps for the rest of your life. Every day you dig in 100 to 800 feet for a nigga to come and fight you over something that they ain't put no work into. And because they can't have it, every day that you go work and dig your hole while you sleeping, they pouring earth in your hole. So you got to work twice as hard. That's how you know who you dealing with in the world. Because what they tell Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Like, what the hell does that mean? You understand? Y'all didn't have to pull yourselves up by your bootstraps. Every immigrant that comes over here gets a loan at a 0.001 interest rate. Right? That means the amount that you get a loan for, that's the amount that you owe. But you apply for a credit card or to get financing for your vehicle, you got 18% APR or higher. Am I lying? No. And then you got to fight to show them how I got 18% APR and I got a 650 on my credit score, because it's called predatory lending, or in the Black's Law Dictionary, it's called black codes. Don't think it didn't win anywhere. They just create new bylaws and protocols, and it's up to the discretionary of the loan officer of what line of credit to extend to you. It's called prejudice. They give out loans with prejudice. Go ahead, Sapar.
And so like it, sir, I mean, that's so heavy that you see it, and then they so hypocritical, just like the Israelite School, Universal and Practical Knowledge. We come together and want to celebrate our high holidays with our people, and they even have an issue with that,
brother. Now, you know what you know why they had why they created vagrants and loitering laws? You know why? Does anybody know why? Does anybody know what loitering means? What is loitering?
Loitering is like standing around a business.
Right. Okay. So I give you a quick short story so we can jump back so we can finish this chapter. Right. So in Brazil, right? So in Brazil and in Haiti, right? There's a what I like to call a dark art, right? Which is a black martial art, right? Which is called capoeira, right? Capoeira Angola, right? Okay. Which, and now they have capoeira Haitian now, right? So they passed a law, right, that meant no loitering, right? Because black people would congregate together and have something that's called a roda, right? A roda is a play. You would get together, somebody be playing some music, you know what I'm saying? And they would be training in a black martial art, but it looked like a dance, right? 9 times out of 10, what happens? You go outside, somebody start playing some music, what's gonna happen? Black people gonna start gathering. You know what I'm saying? But when they gathered, they were coming together to train to start a revolution, right? So to make sure it's not more than 3 of y'all gathered together, they passed loitering laws, not only just in Brazil, not just in Haiti, not just in Jamaica, in America and Mexico, right? Because you got to remember, what language do you speak? You speak English. Are you from England? Right? What language do the Mexicans speak? They speak Spanish. Are they from Spain? What language do the people from Brazil, what language do they speak? Portuguese. Are they from Portugal? No. You speak the language of your oppressor. So your oppressor made sure that y'all couldn't congregate, you understand, and devise plans to overthrow your rulership. Because you got to always understand, those that are in authority, that are in oppression, that are oppressing you, are always the minority, and the people that are the serving class are always the majority. That's why one of my favorite Pixar movies is the movie Ants. You know what I'm saying? You had the grasshoppers against the ants. It was way more ants than it was grasshoppers. And the grasshoppers knew that, so they kept them divided and kept them working, because if they ever figured out it was more ants than grasshoppers, they would easily overthrow them. Go ahead. Give him the mic.
Sir, I thought that we was the minority here in America.
How?
I thought we made up less of the population.
Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans?
No, black people.
But we're one people.
I see what you're doing. I see what you're saying, sir.
And then the indigenous people of every land are people of color. Right. You know what I'm saying? It ain't us, but it's people of color, right? So it's more of those how can I what's the best way? It's more of those sun deficient people in the world. I mean, it's less of those sun deficient people in the world than people that are in the world that aren't sun deficient. You understand what I'm saying? But they would have you think that they're the majority. And you know that they classify some of your people as white, right? Because white is not a skin color. It's a mindset. It's a class system, right? Because you know when Arabs come over here, they're classified as white. Some Africans, when they come over here, they're classified as white. East Indians, some of them, when they come over here, they classify as white. You understand? So when you looking at the census records and it shows you that it's a mass number of white people, that's immigrants of other nationalities from other continents. That's not just white people. And white is not a nationality. White is not a people. It's a class that you're not allowed to be in. All right? All right? Let's get back to it.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 26 and verse 22. And he removed from thence and digged another well. For that they strove not, and he called the name of it Rehoboth. And he said, for now the Lord hath made room for us, and we shall be fruitful, and we shall be fruitful in the land.
So imagine, because we don't know how long this took, right? You done dug 3 wells, all right? These niggas done rolled on you for 2 of them. Like, imagine that. Like, so just think about that. That's just like you done worked hard to get a job and then you get fired for some BS that you ain't had nothing to do with to get another job. You get fired from that job and let go because the company is downsizing to go get another job, right? And because you're not meeting, quote unquote, their metrics, or somebody created a metric that you wouldn't be able to reach to get you fired from that job. And you just in your mind, you're like, it must be something wrong with me because I can't keep a job. You feel me? But you don't get defeated. You keep applying. You understand? You take odd jobs here and there to keep the lights on, to keep food on the table. So one day you land a job and this whole cake work for you. Everybody else struggling in there, but it's cake for you. It's nothing. You know what I'm saying? And you out here getting this paper, and you done went from being on mama couch to a studio apartment, from a studio apartment to a 1-bedroom apartment, from 1 bedroom to a 2-bedroom to a house that you was leasing. Now you owning. Now you got property and you're renting. Now you're Airbnb-ing. But what would have happened if you would have gave up after that first well? What would have happened if you would have gave up after that second well? When the Lord knew all along he had this third well, it was just for you. You know how many people give up before they make it to their third well? You'll be right. The Lord be like, all he got to do is just take one more step, knock on one more door, ask one more question, seek out one more job. You right there, but you lack faith. Because when it comes down to, you don't believe in God. It ain't that you don't think that there are jobs out here. It ain't that you don't believe that you could possibly strike out, but you're afraid to even try because you don't believe in God. You have no faith. And all you got to do is what the scripture says. Ask, and what? You shall receive. Seek, and ye shall find. Knock, and the door shall be opened unto you. But you know what that takes? Faith. You got to ask to find something out. You got to consciously be seeking something to find it. You got to be like prime example. The only time when people consistently ask, seek, and knock when they short on their rent, they gonna find them rent relief programs. They gonna ask every person they know that didn't got it. You know what I'm saying? They gonna seek every rent relief program. It don't matter if it's in a Buddhist temple. If a Buddhist temple got rent relief, they gonna be like, all praise Buddha. You know what I'm saying? They gonna knock on every single door until they find that relief so they don't get evicted. But why does it take for you being in danger for you to have faith? Or you face an eviction, but you didn't apply for a job, and you be like, Lord, I promise if you give me the job, I'm gonna stop smoking weed. The Lord be like, all right. When you get that job, what's the first thing you do? Man, I'm getting victory blunt. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do. The scripture says it's better that you not utter an oath than to utter an oath and not keep it. But how many of you have given up on something that you know that you're naturally good at or passionate at because you done took some L's? You understand? L is not a loss, it's a lesson. Because there are certain how can you be an owner operator or a CEO, a CFO, you know what I'm saying, or a business owner, and you don't know what it's like to clean toilets? Because you have a business, you got to make sure your toilet's clean. Don't nobody want to come in no business. Like, how many times you done gone to a gas station and you really got to use the restroom? You open that door, it's doo-doo smeared on the wall. You know what I'm saying? Piss all on the floor. I'm not using the restroom in here. Matter of fact, I'm not even about to buy nothing out here. I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? You know how many people lose out on business because they don't take care of their business? How dare you ask the Lord for a house and your apartment look like trash? You want a brand new Benz, but you can't keep the oil changed on the Honda Accord. You can't keep the tires straight on the Honda Accord, but you want a Benz. Now you know how much tires cost on a Benz? Not even a Benz, a Volkswagen. You know how much it costs to get your brakes changed on a Volkswagen? It ain't cheap. But if you can't be a steward over the small things, how can the Lord trust you to be a steward over great things? Because you done gave up on the first well. You know what I'm saying? Or you done made it the second well. You's like, F it. It ain't meant for me to have no wells. You know what I'm saying? But the whole time you done had a well in your backyard. You've been out here trying to get wells, but you done had a well in your backyard the whole time. And something told you the whole time is like, I mean, I do got a nice amount of land in my backyard. I ain't never tried to dig a well in my backyard. I've been trying to, I've been, 2 blocks over here, a mile over here. But this is the areas that you go into are areas that you can keep eyes on. So the moment that you leave from the work that you did, somebody gonna come and reap the benefits of what you done. But you got something in your backyard that you can keep your eyes on the entire time. Because you think the grass is green on the other side. Keep reading.
Is the book of Genesis, chapter 26 and verse 23.
Mm-hmm.
And he went up from thence to Beersheba,
mm-hmm.
and the Lord appeared unto him the same night and said, I am the God of Abraham, thy father. Fear not, for I am with thee.
For what?
Fear not, for I am with thee.
I'm with everybody else.
For I am with thee,
mm-hmm.
and will bless thee, and multiply thy seed for my servant Abraham's sake.
Now, ain't it interesting? The whole time when Isaac's servants was going through this, he felt like the Lord wasn't with him. Because I did all this work for somebody else to reap the benefits of it. When you going through it, it's gonna feel like the Lord not even there. But like in one of my favorite books, in the book of Job, Job said, I look on the left hand and I don't perceive him, but he on the right making the way for me. I look to the right and I don't perceive him, but he behind me preparing the way for me. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere that you looking, the Lord is moving to the other side to see what you gonna do. Because a man or a woman's character is not determined when things are good, it's when things are bad. Everybody is cool when things are good, but when that heat turned up in your life, you find out the areas that you weak in. And it ain't until you pass that test that the Lord show up and show you he didn't have you the whole time. It's just like a father. A father will make extremely high requirements for you to stay in his house. You got to be a straight A student. You feel me? And most people think that you're supposed to get a reward for making straight A's. Nigga, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be perfect. You're supposed to not lie. You're supposed to not cheat. You're supposed to not steal. You're supposed to not murder. You're supposed to honor me. That's what you're supposed to do. I'm not giving you no reward for doing basic things. Go above and beyond. But even a child that is doing the requirements of the household and never give his father strife, you think if that child go and ask his father for something that his father will hold his hand from it? No, he wouldn't. But maybe your father will delay giving you your gratification just to see how you'll act. Because you know, what's the old saying? The difference between a good day and a bad day is your what? Attitude. You understand? Because nobody wants to give something to somebody that's always complaining. I'll never get no promotion. Well, you know what? You ain't gonna get one. You know what I'm saying? They always look up. Look, I used to always, you know what? I'm gonna tell y'all a funny story. So they have quarterly all-employee meetings at my job. You know, my entire life, whenever I enter into a raffle, when they do the raffle, I'm like, I ain't gonna win nothing anyway. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I don't never win nothing, right? This last all-employee meeting, they handed out the tickets and stuff like that or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I gave my ticket to my homeboy, like, look, man, hey, I'm about to go to the restroom, bro. If they give me something, bro, hold it for me. I ain't say I ain't gonna get nothing. You know what I'm saying? I went to the restroom. I came out. The little thing, the raffle was over. I came back. I was like, I ain't win nothing. He was like, well, actually, you know, you want a surround sound system. You know what I'm saying? It drive my wife crazy. Now he drive my wife crazy every night. It be like I be in the movies. But it was the one time I didn't say that I wasn't gonna get anything. I just let it be. And what it was going to be, it was going to be. And for the first time in my life, since childhood, I've been doing raffles since I was a kid. I ain't never won nothing. But, you know, every time I did a raffle, what I said, man, I ain't going to win. And you know what? You're not. Because you got more faith that you not going to get something than you having faith that you're going to get something. So whatever your faith is, that's what you're going to get. If you believe that you can't, you won't. That's how strong your mind is. That's how awesome your father is. Whatever your faith is, that's what you're going to get. So if you believe that you can't, you won't. If you believe that it's impossible, it is. Because whatever you put your energy towards, that's what the Lord's going to give you. That's what you got faith in, that you cannot achieve. So he's going to give you all the unachievement that you can possibly give. Every job that you're going to get, every job that you apply for, you're not going to get, or the ones you're going to get fired from. You know what I'm saying? Every motion that you apply for, you're not going to get. Matter of fact, you're going to get demoted. You're going to get written up. You're going to get finals. You're going to get verbals your entire life. Because that's what you believe that you can achieve. Nothing. So guess what? What is the greatest amount of nothing? Nothing. But if you believe that one day that you're going to get a well and you keep digging, guess what? You're going to get your own water one day. And just like it says in Psalms 1, you'll be like a tree planted by the rivers of the water that'll bring forth its fruit in its due season. See, you think just because you plant a seed here, that you plant a seed there, that you're going to bear fruit. You know what I'm saying? One thing that I didn't learn about, because I got a hydroponic garden at the house. You know, I think we 60 days in. Tomatoes just now growing. But if I would have gave up 20 days in, it's like, it's just green leaves. I'd have never saw the fruit of the faith of the seed that I planted. It takes time. And guess what? Every plant ain't the same. You know what I'm saying? What it takes for you to bear fruit, it might not take for him to bear. He could bear fruit maybe in a month. It might take you 10 years to grow and become a great tree, arms stretched out wide, before you have your first season of bearing fruit. Cherry blossoms, it's an amazing tree. It is a beautiful tree. Guess what? It only blooms in the wintertime. It's dead year round. It only blossoms during the wintertime. And the Japanese have an old saying: to live an entire life and to see one full bloom of a forest of cherry blossoms is not a wasted life. That's how rare it is to see. Because you know how they have always in the Japanese movies or the animes, they have the cherry blossom full blooms going, because that is such an anomaly to see. But you have faith that one day that you'll see it. Guess what? You just might see it. But most people don't have the gumption or the grit to stay the course. Yes, something you want to say, Sapar?
Yeah, sir, you know, and you know, that was so heavy. I was just talking with someone about this same thing. Like us today, we used to, you know, everything being, you know, now instant, not realizing everything is a process.
Everything is a process. Everything that you're gonna do in your life is gonna take time. And guess what? That time ain't gonna feel good. You think people like studying? Nobody likes studying. But you know the difference between a technician and a professional? One decided to do more studying than the other. One decided to do more sacrificing than the other. One decided to get more certificates than the other. That's all it is. Because I guarantee you a doctor is not smarter than a nurse. They not. They do the least, the bare minimum. The nurses do everything. The nurses know everything. The doctors don't know anything. It's like, oh, what is this on your chart? But every time you come to the doctor's office, the nurse that you see every time, they know, how is your blood pressure down? I know I gave you what you needed to do. You know what I'm saying? Your blood pressure better not be up. They tell you before you even put it on. I done told you what to do. But when your doctor come in, they got to review your chart, you know what I'm saying? Look at your history, because they feel their caseload's heavy, but really it's the nurses. They have the heavy caseload. But guess what? Majority of the time, the nurses remember every single one of the people that they treat. Because it's required to. They have to have a high retention rate. But a doctor gets paid more. And he has to do less work because he decided to go to school a little bit longer. So you get out what you put in. If you literally believe that you're not going to get anything, you're going to get the max amount of nothing. Nothing. You're going to get a whole life of nothing because that's what you believe. And the Lord is going to give you based off of your faith. You believe that I don't deserve anything. So guess what? He's going to give you the greatest amount of nothing that you've ever. He's going to give you a whole bunch of nothing. Because you love nothing. You love slavery, so you're going to slave your entire life. You're going to slave until you can't slave no more. You don't believe that you can be free. You don't believe that you're gonna see Christ coming back. You believe that's a fairy tale. So he gonna make you feel that it's a fairy tale. You're gonna become an atheist, you're gonna become a Buddhist, a Hinduist, you're gonna be everything but a child of God. And when Christ comes back, you're gonna be like, woe is me. Because you lacked faith. Keep reading.
Come, verse 25. And he built an altar there and called upon the name of the Lord and pitched his tent there. And there Isaac's servant digged a well. Then Abimelech went to him.
Then what?
And then Abimelech went to him.
Now, Pete, this is the 5th well, right? It took 3 for him to get 1. You understand? Now imagine you getting reports is getting back every time this nigga dig, he strike gold. We didn't took 2 gold mines from this nigga. You know what I'm saying? And we didn't got rich. And then we put that nigga over here to where we know it's a horrible land. He dug over there and struck gold again. And we can't deny that, like, it's his. Like, I mean, we didn't rob the nigga for 2 gold mines. And then after the Lord gave him that, the Lord appeared to him, and then he dug another one for the Lord. And there was more gold there. He was like, I gotta go see this nigga. I know I kicked the nigga out, but I gotta go see this nigga. Because apparently something is with him that ain't with me. When you represent something greater than you, and no matter what oppression, what obstacle, what stumbling block comes in front of you, and you maintain your honor and your dignity, and you don't allow yourself to become emotionally compromised, you know what ends up happening? You gain a reputation to where eventually word gonna get out about you, like, I counted this nigga out. I didn't think she was gonna make it. How the hell she got 40 acres, 10 properties, you know what I'm saying? And she out there at Turks and Caicos and everywhere else every 6 months. I gotta come see about it. Now you getting podcast invites. You're getting requests to come on news stations. Your reports is getting written up on you on blogs and newspapers now. Because one thing that can't happen at that point is you can't be denied. That means you the truth. As much as everybody hate Floyd Mayweather, you know what they can't deny? He the champ. He the best. Everybody that thought they was somebody that went up against Floyd, I mean, every time Floyd fight, they would bet the house against Floyd. Floyd would go bet on himself. That's why he called Money Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? He don't even spend the purse. He's spending winnings. But you're afraid to bet on yourself because you're afraid to bet on the Lord. Because you lack faith. Keep reading.
And it will come, verse 26. Then Abimelech went to him from Gerar and Azuzah, one of his friends, and Pictroa, the chief captain of his army. And Isaac said unto them, wherefore come ye to me, seeing ye hate me, and have sent me away from you?
Like, now imagine you done got fired from your job. You feel me? By your manager and the regional director, right? It was like, you you just not working out here. You know what I'm saying? And you get, matter of fact, I'm gonna tell y'all another story. So Officer Amathia, I hope you don't mind me telling his business. I'm gonna tell his story, right? You feel me? He was a manager at Centerpoint, right? Centerpoint runs energy in the South, all right? Definitely Texas, right? He was a manager for Centerpoint, right? His boss, right, which is a regional director, you know what I'm saying? She just got a promotion. She didn't like MC because he wouldn't kiss her butt. He would just come to work, do his job. He had great rapport with the relationships of the people that he the customers and stuff, because he's dealing with corporate accounts, right? Not individual houses, corporate accounts. He was loved, right? She didn't like that because he had more respect in his department than she did. She had a higher title. She trumped up charges, got him fired, right? Did some illegal stuff, right? Amathia's reputation was so high and rapport with the corporate customers that they had contracts with, that a partner, a contracting company that he did business with, it's like, bro, you don't work there no more. They sought him out. And guess what? He got fired on a Friday. 2 weeks later, he was back in the same building that he was working at with another contract company as a manager. She saw him, didn't like that. She went to a regional director to get him fired from that job. You know what I'm saying? He got fired from that job, then got hired on with another company. You understand? Doing the same work. Now, I ain't gonna tell all his business, but I'm just gonna tell you right now, he's in litigation. And y'all know what litigation is. You understand? So if somebody takes something from you, so what? If somebody takes something else from you, so what? What are you going to do? Cry? Nobody cares. Nobody gives a damn. What are you going to do? Quit? Going to put a gun in your mouth and blow your brains out? Boo-hoo. Niggas lose their jobs every day, B. Niggas' cars get repoed every day, B. People get eviction notices every day, B. So what you gonna do? You gonna crawl up in a ball in the corner and cry and quit? You think that's gonna change your condition? No. Because guess what? The sun is still gonna rise in the morning, whether you up to get it or not. Carpe diem, seize the day. Everybody got the same 24 hours. What you gonna do with it? You gonna work a 4, a 5, a 8, a 10, a 12, a 18 to get what you want? Or you just gonna do nothing? Keep reading.
Verse 28. And they said, we saw certainly that the Lord was with thee.
He said he saw what?
We saw certainly.
Maybe.
Certainly.
Possibly.
Certainly that the Lord was with thee.
Because he had faith. The Lord said that he was with him, that he was going to make a place for him and his seed after him. He believed it. He kept digging. He didn't complain. Anywhere in the scripture did it say that Abraham complained? No. Not Abraham. Did Isaac complain? No. You know what he told his servants? His servants did what he told them to do. You better fight for it. And they fought for every well. They took a couple of L's, but they eventually won. You think Muhammad Ali, you think he had a perfect record? No. But he's considered one of the greatest boxers of all time. You think Mike Tyson had a perfect record? No. But he's considered one of the greatest boxers of all time. Sonny, I can go on and on. You're not going to win every fight. But the most important thing is you get up and you keep what? Fighting. Keep reading.
And we said, let there be now an oath betwixt us, even betwixt us and thee.
Now, the exact same thing happened between his predecessor, the previous Abimelech that dealt with Abraham 75 years ago, right? That was in Genesis 21 and 22 through 23. The literal exact same thing happened. Abimelech told him, he didn't give him the land. He's like, just dwell over here. So the land that Abimelech gave Abraham, he started digging wells. And the Philistines that were there, they was like, we don't care what Abimelech said. This our land. You a foreigner here. You a visitor here. Anything that you even think about getting is all right. First off, anyway. So they took 2 wells from Abraham too. To the point to where the first Abimelech sought him out. Same exact thing is happening. That's why it's written, the things that are written aforetime are for your learning and for your understanding. If you do not know your history, you are doomed to repeat it. That's why I was like, man, what the hell y'all want, bro? Y'all done kicked me out the land that I done built up. You know what I'm saying? All the crops and stuff that I didn't raise. I didn't went in the valley, nowhere where y'all wasn't even looking at. Dug 2 wells, y'all took them from me. Now I got my own. Nigga, what you want? Read.
Come, and thee, and let us make a covenant with thee.
Now you want to make a covenant. Yakubah, give me Psalms 130 and 7. Yakatazab, I want you to give me Psalms 23. Give me Psalms 130 and 7.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 130, verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
Let Israel hope in the Lord.
Let who?
Israel hope in the Lord.
And what?
For with the Lord there is mercy, and with him is plenteous redemption.
You understand? So it don't matter what anybody do. The Lord gonna show you mercy. And did it say it was few redemption?
Plenteous.
You understand? It don't matter how far they try and kick you down. Because I always use the example, right? Like I'll pick a brother and I ask, what job do they have now? Right? And I was like, have you always wanted to be like, no, I had a job before that. So you mean I was like, either you got fired or you quit the last job you was at. You mean to tell me that the job that you at right now, where you probably making more money and you better off, that job existed before you had a job? You didn't have to go build that company? There is plenteous of redemption out here for you. You understand? The Lord will make you a garbage man to make you a CEO of a garbage company. To where you making more money than the manager that fired you at the last job. You understand what I'm saying? Because you willing to keep working or to do the work that nobody else is willing to do. So you become great and mighty in that regard, to the point where you can't be denied. So everybody gonna come to you to do that work because they don't want to do it. That's how people become Fortune 500 companies, because they kept doing the work that nobody wanted to do, and they kept giving the business because nobody wanted to do the work. Now it's a great business model. Now everybody want to do that work because they saw you were able to do it. Now they don't want to stay in their lane. They want to go in the lane that you in. That's your well, because you kept digging wells. People kept stopping them up, but you found your own well that you winning in. That you didn't went and dug more wells just like it. Now everybody like, well, I got to get me a well like that now. I've been doing the cistern pump, and he got a hydraulic pump, and his hydraulic pump evidently working way better than my cistern pump. I got to get me a hydro pump well now. Now everybody got hydraulic pump wells now. But guess who's selling them the hydraulic pumps? You are, because you had to figure out how to do it because everybody was jacking your cisterns. You understand what I'm saying? Read what you got, Yakatazab. Give me Psalms 23. Give him the mic.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 23.
Mm-hmm.
A psalm of David. The Lord is my shepherd.
Mm-hmm.
I shall not want.
Mm-hmm.
He maketh me to lie down in green pastures.
In yellow pastures.
In green pastures.
In dead pastures.
In green pastures.
You know, 9 times out of 10, the places that you end up doing good, you didn't want that job. The school that you ended up going to, that wasn't your first choice that you applied to. The car that you got, that's not the one you wanted. But it worked though.
Right.
You exceeding at it though. You getting recognized there though. Keep reading.
He leadeth me beside the still waters.
You know what I'm saying? You wake up and choose chaos every day. But the Lord is trying to give you a job where you just go to work and go home. But you want to be on the scene. You want to be on Front Street. You like seeing everybody bang their head against the wall. Oh, that must feel good. Let me bang my head against the wall too. But no, the Lord is trying to lead you by still waters. That is the road less traveled.
Right.
Because if you drive down a road that's frequently traveled, that water not still. It's too much vibration going on. It's too much movement. You understand? But when you go on a hike and you discover a random stream or a random pond that you ain't ever seen before, and you just see salmon just swimming upstream, snappers swimming upstream. Some point they're swimming up, one pop out like, ooh, you didn't caught one. They jumping out the water so you can eat. You want to know why? Because ain't nobody over there. That stream was meant for you. But you want to go over here to the watering hole that everybody drink out of. They got they spit in. They pissing in the pool. You know what I'm saying? But you want to go over here in this pool. But the Lord trying to give you your own stream, your own lake, your own river. Don't nobody go to upstream. So you got to deal with the piss downstream. You understand?
Right.
Keep reading.
He restoreth my soul.
Mm-hmm.
He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake.
For whose sake?
His name's sake.
Because everybody's counting you out. So when you win, guess who gets the glory? The Most High. Because it can't be nobody else that you done made it through but him. Because you got secret opposition that is stacking up against you that you don't even know about. That's trying to make it to where you don't succeed or win. They done counted you out. They done made sure that you don't succeed. But somehow you still got a promotion. Somehow you still got a bonus. Somehow you done still transfer departments and you winning. Somehow you still got a house and your credit score don't reflect the type of houses you should get. What are we talking about? Keep reading.
Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil.
Just because you got fired, so what? You think that was the job stopped getting made because you got fired from that job? Just because your car didn't got repoed, so what? You think that was the last car that they got car dealerships that specialize in second chance used cars. You think that's the only car that you can get? So what that you done messed up your credit? You don't think you can build it back up?
Right.
It's not hard. Just pay your bills on time. That's all that credit means. Pay your bills on time. You get evicted, so what? You got to sleep on a brother's sofa for a little bit. You got to humble yourself and ask for help for a little bit.
Right.
The Lord is doing that so when you get in position and somebody asks you, he dare you to say no. He dare you to treat them like you weren't treated. He dares you to do that. Because your blessing can be either to extend your borders or to prove that you're not worthy of what you were given in the first place. Because everything that you go through is either a test or a curse.
Right.
Don't curse yourself. Keep reading.
For thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me.
You understand? It don't, you think it feel good for a sheep to get yanked up? But that sheep didn't see he was about to go over the cliff. That sheep don't even realize it's wolves tracking him 2 miles over. And the shepherd could see it from the top of the hill. But he trying to go off by itself. You think it feel good to get yanked up? No, I don't. But there's comfort in that because that pain is so you can continue to grow.
Right.
Keep reading.
Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies.
He do what?
Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies.
So you mean to tell me in the midst of your opposition, the niggas hating on you, niggas gossiping, niggas setting you up, you know what I'm saying? People talking bad about you, throwing dirt on your name. People saying that you ain't never gonna make it. People watching everything that you're attempting to do, rooting for you to fail. You mean to tell me that the Lord gonna keep building you up to where you can eat in front of their face? Your faith ain't big enough, huh? Because he telling you that he gonna do it. And the Lord is not a man that he should lie. Who are you for the Lord to lie to? All you gotta do is just, in one of my favorite Ice-Cube and Dub C songs, bow down to a nigga that's greater than you. Huh?
Right.
Maybe somebody that then came before you, they might know a better way than you do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you trying to become a boxer and you think it's a good idea to get your hands strong to punch concrete or to punch a brick wall. And he's like, no, put some gloves on. Right. Instead of hitting the wall, hit a heavy bag. You know what I'm saying? Throw from your hips. You trying to throw from your shoulders. You gonna fracture your hand before you even get a fight. You destroying your knuckles. Let me show you how to really fight. Wake up and I want you to start running a mile every day so you can get your wind up. Because this fight, it's an 18-round bout, 3 minutes apiece. Right. That ain't easy. You may not be able to throw them as fast as you was throwing them in round 1 and round 15. It's psychological at that point. But you got to keep throwing. Because if you don't, you're going to get hit. You got to keep moving because if you don't, you're going to get hit. And unfortunately, in this boxing match, when you get knocked out, you dead. It's not a game that you want to gamble with your training. Because when you take days off, when you train, you get knocked out and you die. That's how real this game of life is. I don't know about you. It took me 30 years to find the truth. I'm not trying to go through in another lifetime what I went through for 30 years to find the truth. I'd rather be born in it.
Sure.
That's what you risking. Because maybe the Lord is having you to go through all of this. So when he finally give you what you want, the child that you have, he don't got to go through what you went through. He don't have to figure out who he was. He don't have to know what it's like to drink water so you can go to bed with a full stomach. But don't nobody want to sacrifice their life for somebody else. And the crazy part is the Lord trying to give you what you want. But it ain't for you. It ain't just for you. It's for the generation that's coming after you.
Right.
Are you patient enough? Are you faithful enough? Are you honorable enough? Do you have the dedication enough? Do you have enough discipline to stay the course? Abraham did. Isaac did. And guess what? The reason why Isaac did because he saw his daddy did. And Isaac just did what his daddy did and built on his daddy foundation. Guess who's watching Isaac right now? Jacob. And guess who you come from? Jacob. That's why we go through this in such great detail, so you don't make the mistakes that your forefathers made. With that, we're going to say Amajim, which means to stand. Sar, which means to turn. We're going to face the east. We're going to say the Lord's Prayer first in Hebrew, then in English. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Quadash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Taba'ah, Ratazayaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kuwa, Hayah, Bashemayim, Natalananawa, Lakam, Call, Yawam, Wasalakinawa, Kabawatinawa, Kasalakinawa, Kabawatinawa, Wala'ah, Tabi'ayanawa, Badasaya 1, Abal, Hawashayanawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Wahata Para, La'awalumium, Aman. In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. So be it. Sar, turn your face in front. Go give a courtesy salute to the brothers, then to the sisters. Men of Israel, Bada Shabbat, Baji, Ra, Yahweh Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shah Brakatah, Yada Matah, Sar, turn your face to sister. Men of Israel, Bada Shabbat, Baji, Ra, Yahweh Shema Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shah. Yada Matah, dismiss.